Hey everybody. Okay, as you know, I got the Chevy S10 2002 and I've been working on fixing it up, and I said I was going to do this playlist of as many videos as I can find of people repairing S10s, all kinds of repairs, so that if anybody finds my playlist, it might help them if they got an S10. And I just want to show you, I'm trying to do this stuff myself. I'm not no mechanic or anything like that. I'm an old guy that tries to save money. And if, I've been getting ready, to put in a new accumulator, and the orifice tube, which I see them on the TV set, on YouTube, trying to pull that orifice tube out of there. And some people get it right out, and some people have a hard time with it. They have I guess, a special tool you can buy, which I don't have. But I've seen people using compressed air, taking and using the compressor and pushing air and pushing it out that way. And then I've seen other people saying, no, 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 you can't put air into the system. That's bad for it. Use nitrogen. And I don't have nitrogen in, as the one guy said that seemed like he was a mechanic. He says there's air already in the system, and when you vacuum it down, it's going to take it out anyways. Anyways, right here is the paper that tells you how many pounds of R34 you need to put into this when it's been emptied out, and it says 1 pound 12 ounces. So that's something I didn't know, but I learned watching the YouTube stuff. So I am getting ready to try to blow that thing out of there. But what I did prior to that, okay, this is a 2002. I know the system has never been opened up. And so that's been sitting in there for 18 years, and if you're watching, those orifice tubes tend to be really crappy. So I said, what the hell? They use this stuff to loosen up everything. So I did spray this in there. And, it's not getting into the system. Obviously, that orifice tube's blocking it. And I don't want it to break in there. I'd rather have a little bit of this in there than that thing to break in there. So I'm hoping by spraying this in, because I'm going to take my sweet time about getting it out. If the air pressure doesn't get out, I'll go back and forth. The air pressure, needle nose pliers, back and forth, back and forth. Now, I did get the new accumulator also to put in. And speaking of the orifice tube right here, I got one of those, a Dalco Remy, and from what I've been seeing on YouTube, when they pull these things out, there's 2 O-rings. And I don't know how good you can see it, but there is a groove on that thing for a second O-ring. So when the old one comes out, I'm going to take a hard look at it. And if it's got 2 O-rings on it, then I'm going to add an O-ring to this. If it only has one, I won't. And we'll find out. And these here hopefully will come in handy. Now, here's a little side note on the accumulator. I went down and ordered the accumulator, bought a Dalco Remy, and I'm going to use the original one. I forget what you call this thing, but I'm going to use it, and if it works, great, because it's original, and I don't want to pay 14 bucks for some piece of crap. And if I have to get a new one, I'll go down to the dealership, the Chevy dealership, and ask, with fear in my eyes, because they'll probably tell me it's $100 or some crazy stuff. I've bought parts from them before, and to be honest with you, they didn't look any better than the stuff I was getting at Advance Auto or whatever. I have got a vacuum pump. I will vacuum it down. I've actually seen people on TV throwing in accumulators. I say TV, YouTube. Throwing in accumulators, compressors, whatnot, and then they just charge it up. They don't even say that they vacuumed it down. I don't know, But when I got this accumulator, the guy at the parts store was like really hardcore. He kept saying, no, it's a receiver dryer, it's a receiver dryer. And I didn't want to argue with the guy, because I don't work at a parts store, and I don't change these things out on a weekly basis. This is, to be honest with you, it's the first time I ever took an accumulator out of a car, okay? But it says right there in the box, accumulator. And I know that the receiver dryers are for the system that doesn't use the orifice tube, but uses a different thing, an expansion valve. Anyway, so I got myself a nice Delco Remy accumulator because I don't want junk, right? And it comes in the mail in this cheap box. And, you know, what do you expect? Where is it? It says on here, made in China. Now I can't find it. But the Delco Remy, yeah, right there. Made in China. So you can't win. When are we going to bring the jobs back to America? I'm not a political type person. I try not to be. I used to really get into it, but it can mess your day up, if not your life. It can really make you crazy, listening to the media. But I used to be in business myself. I was in retail, and I had a guy come into the store. Him and his wife, they were getting out of the military, and they said they were going back to Ohio. They both, you know, confirmed they had jobs at a factory up there. This is in, I'm gonna guess, right after Desert Storm, where they made headlights for cars. Okay. I thought, great. He says, yeah, me and wife, I think they said we'd be making 10 something an hour. And between, you know, with both of them working there, it would be a doable thing. And about a year later, they're back in my store, a year and a half. And I said, what's going on? And they're back in the Army. And he said, yeah, they went up there. They went to work at the headlight factory. And next thing you know, they moved it to China. And not China, Mexico. I'm sorry, I probably went from Mexico to China. A lot of stuff did. They moved it from the United States to Mexico, saying it would, you know, put jobs there, and then you wouldn't have all, you know, all the people from Mexico coming into America because they wouldn't have to anymore because they have jobs there. But then after they moved them to Mexico, a lot of them then transferred to China. But to make a long story short, here he got out of the military. Now he's back in the military. And he says the last thing he did, he said he figured, oh, what the heck, it didn't matter. He was one of the people that went down and trained the people in Mexico how to take his job away from him. And that's the way it is. And sorry if I'm ruffling feathers. I don't normally, I probably will never do this again. But, yeah. What can you say? You know, everybody has to work, right? But there's a lot behind that, and it's, you know, these corporations, they don't want to pay the American worker a decent wage, but when the stuff's made in China, they don't lower the price of it either. I used to sell a lot of stuff at my store, and we had stuff that when I first opened up my business was made in America, and then the factories were moved to Mexico, and it said made in Mexico. The price didn't go down on what I was selling. It actually went up some. And then within two and a half years, the boxes now, when I'd order, it said made in China, and the price went up even more. And I'm not even, I might show you a video sometime because I got an example of each type, but it doesn't matter. What we're really talking about is AC and trying to do it yourself and the little things you run into, and we'll find out if that thing's going to blow out of there or not, because I sure don't want to break off in there. And that's it.